The privilege is obviously mine.
I don't know if that is meant any time as my title.
I'm pretty sure it was once and I accidentally listed it. There was like a bias.
He said he was coming, so I would go ahead. He'll be down in a second.
Let's call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you so much, everyone. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Berge, Brewster, Johnson,
Aye. Here.
Imboga,
Aye.
Miller,
Here.
Otto,
Here.
Reed,
Here.
Schoen, Serrano,
Here.
Worthman.
Here. And we have a quorum. Welcome, everyone, to this special meeting, Monday, April 20th of 2026. This meeting this evening is dedicated to filling the City Council vacancy for Aldermanic District 2. So we have two agenda items. The first one is going to be a chance for public discussion. If folks are here this evening to speak on behalf of or support for a candidate. And then the second agenda item we will move to is the business session where we will discuss and then vote on who we believe as a council should fill Aldermanic District 2 vacancy. This evening, the public is going to have 3 minutes to share on behalf of a candidate or candidates, depending. If you could keep your remarks kind of focused in that direction, because that is the primary role of the agenda, that would be great. And I suppose we potentially could ask you questions, but more than likely, we're just here to listen and receive your input. Candidates, for those that don't know, and especially folks at home, did already submit a presentation of their candidacy, and they answered a series of questions that we provided ahead of time. And those can be found on the city's YouTube website. So if you haven't had a chance to check those out, please do. Thank you to all of the candidates, first and foremost, who applied and put yourself out there and said that you have an interest in serving in this role. Regardless of whether you get the nomination tonight, I just want to say that we're blessed to have incredibly strong candidates this evening, and I would encourage for those that do not fill the role to actually go ahead and think about other ways to serve on boards, committees, and commissions as well. We have a difficult choice ahead because all of you care deeply about your community and showed that not only in your materials, but on your videos that you recorded that we all got to see. So thank you for applying and being a part of this process. With that, we will move on a motion by Councilmember Otto and Serrano. We're going to move into item number 1, the public discussion of the council vacancy. If anyone would like to come to the mic and share, please do. Oh, sorry, we have a sign-up sheet. If we could mark Councilmember Brewster present too. Thank you. So looking over the sheet, the way this will work is we're first going to work off of the sign-up sheet this evening, but then if anyone didn't sign up but still would like to share a comment on behalf of a candidate, you're more than welcome to approach the podium. So first up is Julian Emerson.
Thank you, Andrew, and good evening. Is this on? Am I in the right spot?
Yeah, you're doing perfect. Just if you could introduce and then share your address as well.
You betcha. Good evening, Eau Claire City Council members. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. My name is Julian Emerson. I live at 519 Chauncey Street here in Eau Claire. And I second Council Vice President Worthman's words about the importance of people running for elected office. It's really important way for all of us to get involved. I've watched many, many people do it, including my wife. And I too looked through the resumes of the folks looking to be appointed, and yeah, you guys will have our choice. There's a lot of good candidates here. And so I'm here to speak tonight related to filling the District 2 council seat of Emily Anderson, who I'm fortunate to call a friend. And like I said, I looked through the backgrounds of the other folks, and the candidates are all good. But I'm here to speak on behalf of Joyce Orth, and to recommend that she be appointed to this important position. I've known Joyce for nearly 3 decades. I first got to know her back when I was a reporter at the Leader-Telegram newspaper, and Joyce worked as the executive assistant secretary for the Eau Claire School District, Altoona School District. Excuse me, sorry for that, Joyce. And we worked closely sometimes, and Joyce had to answer all of my questions, which weren't always about easy topics. And I was always struck immediately by her thoughtfulness, her professionalism, her kindness. No matter the situation, no matter the sometimes really difficult questions that I was asking of her and of others in the district. I saw her always maintain that professionalism, her integrity, even when times were difficult. I also got to know Joyce through her work with Fierce Freedom, a small local nonprofit organization that makes a big difference here in the Chippewa Valley and beyond in the fight against human trafficking. Joyce exhibits her strong sense of caring for her community in her work with Fierce Freedom. She advocates for those who all too often lack a voice of their own. And I've really admired the way she's done that work. In everything she does, Joyce is detail-oriented, thoughtful, and communicates extremely well with others. She effectively forms partnership with the aim of accomplishing worthy endeavors. She's a diligent worker who seeks high-quality outcomes. She exhibits her deep sense of caring for her community and beyond through her numerous volunteer efforts at the local and at the state level. She cares deeply about helping those in the community around her, especially those who are most in need of assistance. For all of those reasons, for all of those qualities, and because I've witnessed her sincere enthusiasm for the city of Eau Claire, I'm happy to support Joyce's appointment to represent District 2 on the Eau Claire City Council.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emerson.
You bet.
Next up, we have Jennifer. Sorry, Jennifer, welcome.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Bain, and I am a resident of Eau Claire's West Side. I am also a proud public school teacher. A few decades ago, when I began my teaching career serving the Altoona School District, I was lucky to meet Joyce Orth. I remember Joyce being a very welcoming presence. It did not surprise me when, over time, she moved into a position in our district office. Over the years, I have witnessed that businesses are often very thoughtful and strategic about who they place in positions that have the highest interaction with the public. These people must have the ability to interact with anyone who calls or walks through the door. They must be able to remain calm while also having natural problem-solving skills. Add in organizational savvy, and this was Joyce. Joyce's loyalty was demonstrated in her decades of service to the Altoona community. She ended her time with our district serving as our public relations and social media coordinator. In true Joyce fashion, she used her talents to highlight what the rest of us were doing, allowing us to shine. Recently, I reconnected with Joyce at Sherman Creek Park, near Sherman Elementary. We spent time together with some former colleagues who are doing research, which will support a memorial trail marker project for my daughter. Joyce spoke with great pride about her roots growing up near the park and walking to school as a student at Sherman Elementary. She shared her excitement about another generation benefiting from learning about the history of this community and enjoying some natural spaces that she grew up enjoying. I share this with you this evening because I feel that it is important that, in addition to her recent community work, you should know about Joyce's commitment to education. I was very pleased to hear that Joyce is being considered for a position on our city council. We would be lucky to have her serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Aaron. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for coming down.
Yeah, everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
All right, thank you, council members, city council staff, residents, and candidates and supporters. I am here to write a letter of recommendation and for support for Joyce Orth and her candidacy for Eau Claire City Council District 2. As a president of Fierce Freedom and president of Cooley Tech, Fierce Freedom, we're a nonprofit organization, which you heard of, combating human trafficking through education, prevention, and survivor support. I've had the privilege of working closely with Joyce, witnessing firsthand her exceptional leadership, integrity, and commitment to serving our community. Joyce has been an invaluable member to our organization. Her passion for advocating on behalf of vulnerable populations is matched by her ability to translate compassion into meaningful action. She consistently demonstrates sound judgment, collaborative leadership, and deep understanding in social issues impacting our region. Through her work at Fierce Freedom, Joyce has helped build strong partnerships and community stakeholders, coordinated, impactful initiatives, and contributed to strategic efforts that have expanded our reach and effectiveness. What sets Joyce apart is her genuine dedication to the well-being of others. She approaches every challenge with empathy, professionalism, and solutions-oriented mindset. Her ability to listen thoughtfully, engage diverse perspectives, and foster consensus makes her uniquely qualified for public service. Joyce is not only a passionate advocate but also a strategic thinker who understands how to navigate complex community needs while maintaining transparency and accountability. Joyce's experiences addressing issues such as public safety, community education, and support for vulnerable individuals provides her valuable insight that will greatly benefit the city of Eau Claire. She possesses the integrity, work ethic, and vision necessary to serve the residents effectively to help guide the city toward a safe, inclusive, and thriving future. I wholeheartedly, without reservation, recommend Joyce Orth for the position of District 2 City Council slot. I'm confident her leadership, compassion, and dedication to the community service will make an outstanding asset to the city. Should you have any questions or wish to talk more, please reach out.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions? I can see any. Next, we go to Jane. Hey, good evening.
Good evening. I'm Jane Jeffries. I live at 1022 East Lexington Boulevard in Eau Claire. I'm also here to recommend Joyce Orth for the open council seat for District 2. And as someone who lives in her district, I'd really like to see her as one of my representatives. I've known her for over 10 years. Joyce has many leadership qualities. She listens well. She makes decisions after she's heard a variety of opinions. And she's adaptable, but she's also strategic. And she brings a lot of wisdom to whatever she's involved in. I observed these qualities firsthand when she served on the elder board for our church. I also served on it with her. She served for about 8 years, and during some of the key transitional years, she was the lead elder. Her consistency and her wisdom helped our church weather some pretty difficult years, and we were all really grateful for her leadership in that time. She also worked many years in the Altoona School District, and anyone who knows about working in schools or school systems, you'll know that she has a broad perspective and she has a good understanding about the needs of the community. After she retired, she became a community engagement specialist for Fierce Freedom, which is the nonprofit that fights human trafficking and exploitation. And this is an issue that affects our community as much as any other, and so I'm really grateful for the work that she's doing with this organization. And I'd also note that Joyce serves as an election official, so, you know, having worked the polls myself, it's very important for people like Joyce who understand the process and how to help everything run smoothly. So I love that she's in that position. So as you can see, Joyce has a heart for the community, and she wants to see it thrive. I think she'd be a good fit for this open seat, and I highly recommend her because I think she has a really good skill set. She's very well connected in the community. She welcomes diverse perspectives. She recognizes the potential in others, and she has ideas to develop our community. So I really think she'd be a great asset for the city council, and I hope you'll consider her.
Thank you so much, Jane. Next, we have Shelley. Is Shelley here? Good evening. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't know I was going to speak tonight, so I didn't prepare anything
No
ahead
worries.
of time, but I'll do the best I can.
Very good.
I'm Shelley Shuppel, and I am the owner of Mr. Kitty's Cat Cafe, and so that is how I know Shelley Jenke. She is the director at the Humane Society, as you well know. So I work directly with her in a lot of aspects of my job. When my husband's known her for many, many, many years. I've known her about 3 years since I came up with the idea of having the Cat Cafe. And from day one when I met her, she's been such a tremendous resource for us in getting our cafe up and running. She's just so resourceful. Like, she has connections with so many people. She was able to just give us unlimited resources of who to talk to and where to go, and she's kind, she's funny. She's gonna be a blessing to you guys if she's on your committee here. She just always has the highest integrity. I get to work really closely with a lot of the employees at the Humane Society as well, because we get cats from them, we have medical issues to deal with, all different things. And everybody I talk to there just has such respect for her as well. And that speaks really great, in my opinion, as a business owner, when your employees speak well about you. And she's just a very organized person. She's just so well-rounded, in my opinion. She's my go-to when I do have questions, because she's a really good listener, and she just comes up with some really creative ideas to work around problems, and I appreciate that, because sometimes I run into issues as a business owner, and her wealth of knowledge is just really a help to me as well. So I think she'd be a great asset to you, and I would highly endorse her.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Next up on our list, we have Hannah Nash. Welcome.
Hi, City Council. I'm here in support of Brian Trowbridge. I had worked with Brian and I'm continue to be a friend of Brian for many years. I worked directly with Brian Trowbridge for 6 years, serving some of the community's most vulnerable populations. In my first-hand experience working with Brian, Brian was caring, he was understanding, and he was thorough in the work that he did. He treated everybody with respect. He genuinely cared for the people that he was working with. He was always fair. He always took time to listen to both sides. He was always compassionate, and even when people were engaging in questionable behavior, he treated them with respect and was always a listening ear. I had the opportunity, of course, to work with Brian firsthand, but then I got to see Brian in a supervisory role, and when he moved up into a supervisory role, he continued to treat all of us, all of his employees, all of the people in his community with great respect. He never talked down on anybody. He was very dependable, reliable. He was somebody that we always could go to, and you would always trust the answer that you were given. He was somebody that you could go to with tough questions. You knew that you could feel comfortable and that you would get a good response from him. When Brian moved on to bigger and better things, it felt like a true loss to our employer and our job, because he truly filled so many roles and helped so many people. I've witnessed Brian with his family, I've witnessed Brian with his friends, and he's truly a one-of-a-kind person. He's somebody that I truly would love to see serve on the city council and would be thrilled to see him continue to support the community in this role.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
Hannah, would you be able to share your street address, please?
Yeah, 4233 Meadowwood Drive in Eau Claire.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And last on our list is Mike Felton. Hey, Mike.
Hello there, council members. Mike Felton, 1316 White Pine Drive North, Eau Claire, 54701. Glad to be here tonight. Just want to speak on behalf of Shelley Janke. Let me start general, then I'll get specific. People know Shelley as a great leader with the Eau Claire County Humane Society, where she literally herds cats, where she has animals and people love her, and she's a thoughtful leader. She is great at what she does. She's a great involved person in the community. You've just heard everything that she does with Mr. Kitty's Cat Cafe and others. She's great at building coalitions, meeting people. She's gone through the Eau Claire Leadership Program before and learned a lot to see how this community really works. Let me speak personally, though. Our family has known Shelley, and she's been a close family friend for the past 8 or 9 years. Our daughters are growing up together. And when I talk about her herding cats, I've seen her do it, I guess figuratively, when we've planned 2 world trotting trips together as families. Her thoughtful consideration when it comes to detail work, to making sure things are on schedule, to look at things from multiple angles, and just planning. She's amazing. I couldn't, of all the people I know, as close family friends or otherwise, I couldn't think of someone better to serve on city council. Again, the thoughtfulness, the care, the consideration, the ability to look at each issue from multiple angles. When I mention our families have grown up together, that also includes just discussions about the future that we want for our families, what that looks like, the investment that someone has in this community, because we care for our families. Hers comes from a place, a big-heartedness, and wanting the best for her kiddo growing up, and I really appreciate that. The idea that what is best for the community is being involved, and being that role model, I think, is huge. Her daughter sees that. We've seen that. Shelley's been a poll worker and someone that does want to make Eau Claire a better community. It's a great community, and she wants to be part of that. So I think we would all be lucky for her to be part of City Council.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
So that comes to the end of our speakers list, at least for folks who signed up here. But is there anyone else in chambers who would like to come forward? Yeah, certainly. And share anything else? No worries. Welcome.
I've known Shelley forever. I live at 933rd Avenue.
Okay.
Jim Shuppel.
Yeah, just make sure you're speaking the mic.
Sorry.
No worries.
Anyway, I've known Shelley for
Point of order.
a long time.
Excuse me. I didn't get your name first, too.
Jim Shuppel.
Thank you.
James.
Thanks.
So anyway, I've known Shelley for a long time. I knew her dad before I knew her. So into the family is just wonderful. Anyway, we were in Menominee together. She was part of Main Street Menominee. Awesome. Did great. Went different directions. Lost connection. Hooked up a few years ago again, and it's like we never left each other. It's been awesome. Her family's awesome. Her organization, I'm also on the board of directors with Humane Society, our main association, and again, I see her as a friend, I see her as a professional, I see her as a caring person, I see her as a parent. Mm-hmm. We'd be blessed to have her. I don't know how else to say it. She's very capable. I'm an emotional person, sorry. But anyway, you'd be blessed to have her. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I don't see any, but thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Is anyone else here by chance who wants to share? It seems like we have gone through our list, and we've offered a chance for anyone who wanted to share. Thank you all for being here this evening. We're now going to close this agenda item number 1, and we are going to move to agenda item number 2, which is our discussion and then a vote on who we would like to see fill this vacancy. And I'm just going to run over a few of the ground rules for this item this evening. First, to share that that we're going to need, because there's 11 of us on the council, we still will need 6 affirmative votes in order to elect someone or nominate the next person for this seat. So the way this is going to work is that if no one receives a majority of 6 votes on a first ballot, then we'll continue to ballot until someone gets there. So the way that'll happen is the lowest vote getter, or tied for lowest, will be dropped on the first ballot, and we'll keep balloting until someone reaches 6 votes. We will be balloting. It is a public ballot, so we're going to be using this form, which essentially you'll put your name at the top and then signal who you would like to see in this vacancy. This way of doing it, it will be read and it will say council member whomever votes for, but it's a way of doing it that we don't necessarily influence each other as we're voting or doing a raise of hands and just calling one candidate at a time. So that's kind of the idea behind doing it this way. But just to clarify, all ballots will be public and will be read off with your name and how you vote. With all of that background, let's open it up to discussion from council members, how you're feeling, who you're thinking, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Does anyone want to go first?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Councilmember Brewster.
Thank you, Acting Council President Worthman. Yeah, so after we had our vote and decided to do the video thing, I actually reached out to all the candidates and had coffee with all of them because I just wanted to have a chance to talk to them and find out. And I was pleasantly surprised that none of them had any glaring red flags as far as I'm concerned. So in some ways that makes this more difficult because then, you know, it's trying to pick the best of a good group of people instead of you know, having a smaller group that, anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I think that at least for me, in my head, the decision is between Shelley and Joyce, and I'm still working on that. I think the administrative skill that they would bring to this would be really useful, and both of them have been involved in, you know, very public organizations and had to have that sort of leadership role with you know, dealing with outside organizations and relationships. Shelley with the Humane Society and Joyce with the Altoona School District. So I think that's where I'm at, and I'm looking for more input from other council members.
Sounds good. Councilmember Mboga.
Thank you, Council Whitman. For me, I would say thank you so much for putting your name out there. All of you guys, you are, I think, more than qualified. You have served this city in several, all of this area. No choice, you have served in Altoona School District. So the committee has served very well. I feel like you guys, you are putting us between the hard luck and that place. I don't know which way we're gonna go. But I want to look things from the population point of view. In Eau Claire, we have more women population than men. We have so that with that now, there are 2 women going out. Emily Anderson is out, Emily Burgess is out. So if you look here, we are men, and I feel uncomfortable to have another man don't feel bad that I'm using women card right there. So I feel comfortable to have a woman in our city council than a man. I'm not against Brian. Brian is a good man, but that's where I look at it from. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Miller?
Thank you, Councilmember Worthman. Full disclosure, my family volunteers occasionally at the Humane Association, but that's, I've never seen Shelley there because we're there on the weekend, so that out of the way. Once again, echoing the fact that all the people here, if any one of them had applied solo, I would have no reservation about appointing any of them to the city council. They all have a desire to serve the community, have served the community. So I echo the sentiments that it's hard to pick. There is one thing that's tipping my hand towards one of the candidates is that currently the city, we find ourselves in one of the worst financial situations that we've had for budget seasons. Tomorrow we're going to appoint up to 5 people to serve on our Fiscal Stability Commission. That's like almost half the council devoted just to helping us close the budgetary gap we have coming forward. And to that end, the candidate with the experience of leading an organization where they are, the buck stops there like it does with council, and they are in charge of the finances, and they oversee an organization of people, would be Shelley Jenke with the Humane Association. She runs that organization. They have to fundraise. They have to find money. They're never guaranteed where the money's going to come from. They have to make ends meet. And I see parallels with where the city is right now. And I think her financial expertise and making executive decisions where we are right now probably comes in very well. If our situation were different, I'd have the whole new metric for picking someone, but I think her experience with finances and leading organizations would fit as well as we go into this very difficult budget season.
Sorry, Councilmember Serrano.
Thank you very much, Council President. What do I call you? Vice President Worthman. Thank you. I just first of all want to thank the candidates for stepping forward because, like everyone else has said, I've been just very, very impressed with the 3 candidates. I know Mr. Trowbridge was not able to be here tonight, but I want him to know that he made notable impression on me. I also really want to thank all the people that spoke on behalf of all 3 of the candidates, both tonight, and we received quite a lot of correspondence also about each of the candidates in favor, and those are valuable, little personal anecdotes. I know this person, and here's an adjective I would use to describe them, or here's an example of I've seen them in action here and there. So I want to thank everybody who used their voice to talk to us about this important decision, and it is really a tough decision. I have to say, I would be perfectly fine and happy with any of the 3 candidates as a colleague. For me, there was one particular characteristic that stood out, and that was both in Joyce's self-presentation and in the remarks that people made about her. Really showing her very, I want to say, deep understanding of and caring about our most vulnerable population, and that matters a lot to me. Not so much with what's coming before us in the next number of months, but somebody with that mindset that will not forget about our most vulnerable community. I feel like as a council of 11 people, we can, we get a lot of people who talk to us, and a lot of we get pulled in a lot of different directions with a lot of different interests. The most vulnerable often, they need a seat at our table, and their voice and thinking about their lot in life is important. So for me, I just really want to make sure that we keep that perspective, and that stood out to me in Joyce's materials and presentation.
Thank you, Councilmember Serrano. Councilmember Otto.
Thank you, Council Vice President. It really speaks to our town that 3 high-quality candidates like this could come forward, and watching the videos and listening to friend testimonials and talking to the candidates directly, it's humbling that that's the level of quality that's expected to sit on this board right here. Difficult decision. Joyce Orth has a slight edge, in my opinion. what put me over the top in favoring Orth is the education connection. I think we could use people who have a involvement in education bodies, and the local school districts are potential partners with our city government, I see. And I think that is an asset. So for reasons already mentioned and for that connection with education in particular, I'm going to go with Joyce, but all of the candidates are high quality.
I can jump in. And
Sure, Councilmember.
thank you, Vice President Worthman. I would just like to echo what a few previous speakers said about Joyce Orth and her commitment to education here. We have a lot of great and qualified candidates, but as a previous speaker alluded to, you could really see that her values shone through. So,
Thank you for that. Well, I think unless anyone wants to say anything else or offer any other ideas, I think we're gonna take our first ballot. So just if I could stress, everyone put your name at the top of your ballot. That's you too. Because if you want it to count, you gotta have your name. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Councilmember Otto, Joyce Orth. Clara Serrano, Joyce Orth. Charlie Johnson, Shelley Janke. Aaron Brewster, Joyce Orth. Joshua Miller, Shelley Janke. Ethan Reed, Joyce Orth. Andrew Worthman, Joyce Orth. Larry Imboga, Shelley Janke. That's 5-3, so then Brian would be knocked off, and then there'll be another round of voting.
Okay. Thank you, City Clerk. So I think next we'll, if folks have any, council members have any additional items they would like to share before we vote in the second round, the floor is all yours. We do need to get to 6 votes for someone to get this nomination, so yeah, does anyone want to go first?
Thanks.
Councilmember Johnson.
Yeah, when Dr. Anderson announced she was resigning, it's sad, but it also made me sad because I don't like doing stuff like this. But just explaining again, as everyone has said, I think very qualified candidates. Just explaining my vote for Shelley. I think the experience with leading an organization that she leads is kind of invaluable when looking at what council is going to be dealing with over the next year or so and potentially into a future term. And that is actually kind of a facet that is missing on the council right now. And that could, I think, be a valuable insight, a valuable voice at the table as we begin some of these discussions. And I think that's kind of what the community could be looking for as well. So I'll be voting for Shelley again.
Okay. Councilmember Miller?
Thank you, Council Vice President Worthman. So to kind of elaborate again why I supported Shelley Janke, this is for a one-year term as well, so this person's going to have to run for re-election or not. We're going to have a new District 2 coming up when the district elections come next fall. And once again, I can't. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. In the year. So, and when I was saying that what tipped my hand slightly towards Shelley Janke was the financial situation we're in. Honestly, I think if we were in a good financial situation, everything that everyone has said about Joyce Orth, I would probably be supporting her. But crisis is a big, strong word, but I think that's where we are right now financially. So just having somebody that really knows finances and running every bit of organization, because when I'm there, I see, I guess I'll share my experience that, volunteering in the Humane Association, they have to keep track of their supplies and, the dog food and the staff. And the staff probably, it's not one of the higher paying jobs, so they have turnover, they have new people, they have to deal with, staffing like that. And because it's a tight run organization, and I think, things come down to the wire there. So I think for this 1 year, finances is where I'm really hanging my hat on. If we were, like I said, in a better situation, I think just as a big picture, I think Ms. Orth would have my vote, but for me, it's just a strategic 1 year appointment to get us through the worst budget that I've seen since I've been on council, and I've probably been for a number of years. So that's why on this other round, I'll still be voting for Shelley Janke.
Okay. Councilmember Serrano?
Thank you, Vice President Worthman. I appreciate the comments made in favor of Shelley Janke. Again, I think she would be a formidable colleague, and I would love to serve with her. Just speaking from my own personal experience, I feel like it took me kind of a good year to really come up to speed on kind of a lot of the ins and outs. I don't think that's a unique situation, and I think when we bring somebody on for a year, yes, they're going to be part of making decisions, but they're going to really need to be coming up to speed very quickly, and also getting to know the lay of the land on so many city topics. So I'm looking at somebody with the broadest amount of, bringing the broadest experience to the role. And again, I want to just emphasize again, our financial woes are not unique to this year. We're going to have them for the foreseeable future until there are bigger structural changes in our state government. So for me, again, I feel like I still want to advocate really strongly for Joyce as our choice, even though we have 3 good candidates, because I think at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to come at us. We don't know. There could be another pandemic. There could be another surprise, and I really I have a sense of just the strongest sort of foundational principles that I think are going to be the most important as we move forward.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Otto?
Thank you, Council Vice President. And I, too, am going to vote for Orth a second time on the basis of I believe she would be the better to have with us as we face the unknown, as Councilmember Serrano stated well.
Thank you. Before we vote a second time, does anyone want to add anything else? Councilmember Mboga?
Can I ask our Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you asking a question of our city manager or our city
Nick
attorney?
is the attorney.
It's a legal question?
Yeah.
Okay. City attorney?
What about we fought? It's tied. The vote goes the way we fought the previous. What would happen? Or if we keep voting the same way, what would happen?
Continue to vote until there's either a candidate that receives 6 or you elect to adjourn without a decision being made.
Okay. Let's do another ballot.
So this ballot now has 2 blanks on it. So still name on top, your name on top, and then candidate. But because we, of course, didn't know which candidate might drop off, it's not a checkbox, so you need to write a name in. The R2 that is listed in the upper left of all of them just means round 2 of balloting, so we can keep track for records.
Thank you.
Ethan Reed, Joyce Orth, Miller, Jenke, Worthman, Joyce Orth, Mboga, Jenke, Brewster, Orth, Charlie, Jenke, Serrano, Orth, Otto, Orth. So that's 5 to 3 again.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Councilman Morado.
Oh, thank you. If I had to leave briefly, maybe 10 minutes, would we not have quorum? Huh?
I believe we would have quorum at 7,
Okay.
and then you would come back.
I would come back. I just have to run my kids to Scouts.
Okay. We could adjourn for that period of time and, yeah. Councilmember Brewster.
Thank you, Acting Council President. Another alternative would be to vote tomorrow after, President-elect Gregor is seated, and perhaps Jessica would be here as well. If that would make it.
Yeah, thank you, Councilmember Brewster, for that idea. I'm not sure because of our public notice and whether we have enough time to do something like that, so I would defer to our city attorney to check, is that even a viable option potentially?
Some questions you don't want to be asked. So you certainly have the ability to postpone. If what you're looking to do is postpone to tomorrow, we're in a tough spot because we don't have 24 hours notice, and it does not meet the emergency status. So I think you'd be looking at postponing either to your next regularly scheduled meeting a week from tomorrow, or another special meeting.
Okay. As chair, I'm going to recommend that we try one more round of voting, and then if someone wants to make a motion to postpone to our regular meeting when we have a more full body, which would be 2 more people, we might have a different decision, and it might help us make a decision. So let's do that. Let's open up the floor. If anyone wants to offer one more round of support for a preferred candidate, please do. And then we'll go to a 3rd round of voting. Or we'll just go for a 3rd round of voting. Maybe someone has a change of heart.
Ballots look exactly the same except for R3.
Otto, Orth. Serrano, Orth. Johnson, Jenke. Brewster, Orth. Imboga, Jenke. Worthman, Orth. Miller, Jenke. Reed, Orth. 5-3 again.
Thank you, City Clerk. Councilmember Johnson, do you want to make a motion?
Yeah, given the not a question, but given the
Okay.
circumstances, I would make a motion to postpone this until our regularly scheduled meeting next week. I do think it is important to have as full of a body as we can, and I don't expect anyone to change their votes, and I don't think it's a good idea for someone to change their votes for the purpose of ending voting.
Sure.
So I would make a motion to push it out.
I would second that motion.
We have a second motion from Johnson, second from Miller. Is there discussion on this motion? Councilmember Serrano?
I just want to thank the candidates for their
Yeah.
patience with us
Yeah,
through
thank
this
you.
process. Welcome to group deliberations. Yeah, I mean, I know we went through a lot of trouble to record the videos because we really wanted to try to do this evening. And one of the candidates was unable to be here this evening. So again, really appreciate the effort that everybody went through. And the other thing, just to remind everybody, the reason we really wanted to do this evening is to give the candidates or whoever we nominate maximum opportunity to be able to select the committees and commissions and boards that they may want to serve on. Sometimes, when you have a council member resignation and we have an appointment process, it probably rarely works out that we can time it all so that it works out just ideally. We did our best. So thank you for your patience. We will manage.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Otto?
Yeah, this is a question. How many candidates will be on the ballot next time? Does the existing vote stand, or do we reset?
City Attorney?
In this case, in every case, when you postpone, it comes out of postponement exactly where you've left it. So there's literally just set right there, and you'll take up the fourth ballot with the same two candidates remaining.
Yeah, City Manager.
If I can
Hirsch?
just ask the attorney too, so basically it's the next Tuesday meeting? And there will not be a public comment section on Monday, so it would show up on Tuesday, they would vote, and then the person would be sworn in the subsequent meeting? Or before the next meeting?
Correct. They could be sworn in
Yeah, okay.
at a time that they coordinate with the city clerk, but this will appear on the business agenda of the April 28th meeting.
With no further public comment.
Correct. That's when it will reappear. So again, you're just setting it aside. You've already had public comment. It will come back to your business agenda on the 28th.
Okay. Okay, anyone else with a comment on this motion? If not, City Clerk, please call the roll on a motion to postpone to the meeting of the 28th.
Councilmember Brewster.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Imboga.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Otto.
Aye.
Reed.
Aye.
Serrano.
Aye.
Worthman.
Aye. And that motion passes. Hang on a second. We do not have any other further business, so with that, we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Kaiser.